Right, one of the features of the FDC Plus is it's actually able to take a standard 5¼ inch high density drive out of a PC and make it look like an Altair 8-inch drive. Part of the reason is that the high density PC drive actually rotates at 360 RPM, the same as the Altair 8-inch drive. Obviously there's a lot more going on behind the scenes than that, but that's part of the reason. Look around the back. This drive's just been pulled straight out of a PC, nothing's been done to it, so should be fairly easy to find one of these sort of drives. Plus the media is easy to find as well. One thing you might have to watch, if it's coming out of a PC, there's 4 little what are called drive select links. They're at the back on this drive. They're usually labelled DS3 to DS0. If it's come out of a PC, it's almost certainly on DS1. Since this is the first drive in the system, this will have to be set to DS0. So just flip the link over to DS0 and you should be good to go. The last drive in your system, and this is the last drive because we're only using one at the moment, must have a termination resistor in it as well. So you can see this little 150 ohm resistor block here, so make sure that's in there. Right, let's just have a look at the alterations on the FDC Plus. I'll just move this out of the way for a minute. Right, here's our FDC Plus card. Any couple of minor alterations. The drive select, we need to tell it we're using a 5¼ inch high density drive. We do that by setting 3 down, 2 up, and 0 and 1 to down. I've also switched on the EEPROM. The reason for that is it's a bit easy for me to demonstrate it to you because Martin's ROM does a hex load through port number 2 and I'd need 2 laptops to do it, so that'd be quite awkward. The connection to the drive itself is via this 50-way connector at the top here. As I'm sure you know, 5¼ inch drives have got 34-way connectors. So handily, when you buy the FDC Plus, might gives you several little adapter boards. The one thing to note is when you solder the connectors on, make sure you solder them on the silk screen side, and also, not sure how apparent it will be on the camera, but you can see the little bump on the connectors indicated there as well. The one we're going to use is this one here, and this one's got the 50-way on the top and the 34-way on the bottom, and you can see the little bump polarisation on both connectors. They're both facing upwards, so all the pin 1s are in the same place, and that's the thing you've got to sort of follow on your cable. I've gone for the red wire here on the edge of that cable. That's going to be pin 1. I'm going to carry that all the way through. So we plug this into there. Just put that in there. Right, let's snap that one in. The floppy cable itself, it's just completely straight through. Again, just making sure you keep pin 1 in the right place. Don't worry about these extra wires I've got dangling all over the place on this lead. They were an experiment that hasn't worked out yet. Right, so if we pop that in there, right, there we go. Right, that's all in. Right, I'll pop this ball back in the Altair. Right, that's back in. Right, let's get the drive back. Right, there we go. Feed this through. You need to watch it a little bit on these because these connectors will go both ways up, or at least they will if they haven't got an index in them. So again, very fortunately, this drive actually is marked pin 1, so we know where pin 1 is. If you can't find out which end's pin 1, If you check with a multimeter, one side of these connectors is always ground. So it's just a matter of matching them up. If you go from the ground on the drive, just touch these gold fingers. On this one you'd find they're all ground on the bottom, and you could also do the same thing from the Altair, and you'd find that all these pins along here and on the bottom are all ground as well. So that matches it all up, makes it nice and easy for you. I'll snap that in there. Obviously we need 12 volt and 5 volt to power the drive as well. You need both voltages on a 5 1/4 inch drive, not like the new 3.5 inch drives that only need 5. Right, so we're all connected up now, so I'll set the cameras up and then we'll see if we can make a disc. Right, I think we're all ready to go, so let's just start the Altair up. There we go, one running. First thing we need to do is to load a program called PC to Flop, which is available from the Altair, the FDC Plus support page. I'll put it in my Google Docs as well, just in case. Basically what that will do is write sort of sector by sector, track by track, an image of CPM onto our floppy. Right, so the first thing we need to do is get that program in the Altair. So what we do is we use the hex format of the file, and to do that we type H and 0 because we're on the port 0 serial. Now it's waiting for the hex file now. So what I'll do file, send file, scroll down a bit, and that's pc to flop.hex. Right, sending the file down, that's all down now. The program resides at 100 hex, so if I now type J 0100, that's actually running PC to flop now. Right, what I'll do, I'll put the floppy in the drive. Right, that's all ready. We want to drive 0, and we're using a 2SIO card, and we're on port A, so we press 1. Right, now we've got to send down the disk image using X modem. So we do transfer, X modem, send, and we'll use the same image as we used last time, the 48k CPM. And here we go. Right, it's now transferring down the data to the Altair. What will happen is it will do it in chunks, so there'll be a pause in a minute and then it'll start writing the first few tracks to the disk. Right, here we go, it's writing the first few tracks now. Right, those are done. Now we're transferring more data. Okay. Takes about 2 minutes in total. Luckily we're only actually transferring about 330k disk here. Right, there's a few more tracks. If it had been a full high density IBM disk, we'd be here quite a while. Right, more data going down. Right, a few more tracks. Seems to be going through fairly well so far. Hopefully you can see the disk drive head moving gradually across the disk. We're nearly there. A few more tracks. Well, I think we've got one more chunk of data to come down. Yeah, looks like it. Right, this should be the last few tracks on the disc now. There we go, that's our full disc transferred. Right, I'll press X to exit. Right, there we go. It's just going around in a circle now. So what I'll do, we'll reboot the Altair. So I'll turn it off for a second. Back on again. Right, there we go. If we do boot, now hopefully we should have CPM there. And we do. There we go. So we've got CPM on our floppy now. There we go. Just do a survey. That just gives you an idea of, you know, the size of the disc. You know, we've got 266K used, 34 left, so you know that's around about our 330. Right, so while we're here, we might as well expand out the CPM to use all the available memory. So if we type mov CPM, that will just take up as much memory as it can find, which in this case should be about 62K. Oh, and it is. Right, so we type save 38 CPM 22.com. There we go. Right, that's generated the image. We need to get that on the disk now, so we'll do sysgen CPM 62.com. That should rewrite the boot sectors. Right, we'll drive A, turn to confirm. That's it. Right, if we reboot, okay, boot. There we go. We've got 62K CPM there. So let's just load up basic to give it a bit of a workout. Okay, there you go. Right, that's how you create a disc, and that'll do it for this one. I shall see you next time.